Ed Miliband has just delivered his address to the Labour Party conference in Manchester, where he vowed to unite Britain with a one nation approach to government. Here to discuss the speech is Lionel Barber, editor of the Financial Times. Lionel, it was a well-received speech in the conference hall and among the commentariat. Has he done enough to remove the doubts over his leadership?
Essentially, this is about the expectations game. Ed Miliband is notoriously an indifferent, not particularly inspiring public speaker, but today I suspect he trained almost as much as Michelle Obama for her speech in Charlotte. It was well delivered. He had a number of good lines and he clearly touched the hearts and some of the minds of that audience in Manchester.
This one nation slogan is something usually associated with the Conservatives. What do you make of his attempt to embrace that for Labour?
One Nation goes back to Disraeli's famous novel. That's the Benjamin Disraeli, the former British Prime Minister, Sybil. And One Nation Tories being there in it together. And what Ed Miliband did today was rather bold. He essentially occupied David Cameron's ground because Cameron is supposed to be a one nation Tory. But Ed Miliband today took on the question of the cut in basic top rate income tax from 50 to 45 pence, said also that the people at the top of society, the big earners, were not helping enough and that the coalition government was assaulting the poor. So I think it was a quite clever conceptual speech.
So One Nation was the conceptual headline. What about some of the other substance and policy measures? What stood out for you?
Well, there was one big policy announcement, and that concerned education. Again, quite a clever option by Mr. Miliband, inspired, by the way, I suspect, by Lord Adonis, Andrew Adonis, formerly of the FT, formerly Transport Secretary, and a big voice on education. Here, Mr. Miliband wants to address those people who don't go to university, the sort of 40% plus. What is he offering them? Well, it's called a technical baccalaureate. He'll make sure that these people, this group, learns English and maths all the way through to 18, but is offering extra vocational training and meeting more the demands of business in the marketplace.
So just over 2 years out from an election, where does this leave Labour and Ed Miliband?
Well, it all depends, I believe, on the economy and how the economy is performing. We got a very grim picture, perhaps a too grim picture from Mr. Miliband. He is 10% or so ahead in the polls, not him personally, but the Labour Party over the coalition. That's probably not enough at this point, and the gap will close. What people are asking is, where were the gaps in policy? Okay, he definitely said that things would be tough in public sector pay. He also warned about the need for people to work longer because of the pressure on pensions. But I think there are still some substantial gaps about how Labour would govern in what will continue to be an age of austerity after 2015.
So how do you expect the Tories to respond? They're up next in Birmingham next week.
Well, I think they're going to accuse, if not openly, Mr. Miliband of playing class warfare. They might make a bit of fun of Mr. Miliband, who made much of his humble origins. I mean, the fact is he was son of an intellectual. He may have gone to a comprehensive school, but he then went on to Oxford. This is not a man born at the bottom of society. But I think also the real key just comes down to the question of competence, whether Mr. Cameron and Mr. Osborne are presiding over an economy which was slowly recovering.
Thanks very much, Lionel.
Thank you.